the end result of landmark government bailout money, as you know. And now they've got a brutal market considering a new name. They're hoping to gain new customers. But on their side, Dylan, they've got the cash for clunkers. You know, the government's willing to hand out, $4,500 or so if you're willing to trade in your old piece of junk for a brand new car.
We're just waiting for a business model that's not dependent on tax dollars, right?
I might take advantage of it. You know.
Listen, what the heck? It's your tax money. Do what you want with it, you know? Joining the conversation, Stephen A. Smith. Jonathan is here. Roben Farzad, senior writer and columnist for Business Week. Nice to see you, Roben.
How goes it?
Also, Jonathan Capehart. It goes well. It goes well. You know, there's a lot of talk about what happened to the cars, what happened, how this happened. The union screwed it up. The tax policy screwed it up. Efficiency standards, they abused. They made too many SUVs. At the end of the day, isn't it management's responsibility, Roben, to make good deals with labor? Isn't it management's responsibility to anticipate future market conditions and put cars into the pipeline that the people will want? Ultimately, are we not looking at a failure of American management more than anything else when we look at these car companies? For all the guilty parties that may be in this deal, are we not ultimately giving tax dollars today as this company emerges from bankruptcy, our money, same as we did to Citigroup, same as we did to all the banks, to a car company that has run poorly and car companies that have been run poorly basically since the 1970s?
Well, you're buying time for payrolls. That's what this is. This is a car. This is a
with
benefits
taxpayer dollars, though.
with taxpayer dollars. But this is a benefits company masquerading. It's a benefits company masquerading as an automaker. Look, just make me a car I want to buy. Make me a car I'll talk about with 50 miles per gallon, an MP3 jack, you know, plastic molding that doesn't look cheaply cut, and that's that. I mean, this is a competitive marketplace. There's overcapacity globally. It's not just us versus the Japanese and Germans anymore. The Chinese want in, the Koreans. They're Indian car makers now. What we are doing in propping up General Motors is protecting the unemployment rate from getting far worse. That's really what it's all about.
To me, the untold part about this, first of all, culpability is on both parts, not just the management, but the unions themselves. You've got to be cognizant of the catastrophic effect that ultimately can come down. At the end of the day, guess what? They get out of Chapter 11. Why? Because they've cut the debt that they had. It went from 107.
Right, they cut the union deal.
Exactly. It went from 176 billion to $48 billion. But at the end of the year, they're projecting that about 22,500 jobs are going to be lost.
But here's where I take issue
management
with that.
for that. I've got to look at the union, and I've got to say you have to pay attention to that as well. Some culpability falls on your shoulders.
Absolutely, but here's where I take issue with that. Every auto manufacturer in the world has to deal with a labor force, not just General Motors, not just Chrysler. Everybody has a lot of people working to make cars. They have to cut deals with those people. There are other automakers in this world that have cut much better deals than these managements did, and more importantly, there are so many other automakers out there that make cars that people want to buy. And so, again, yeah, Robin's right, you're right. The unions were a problem. The unions got to the point where basically GM becomes a benefits company instead of a car management. But I would say but I'm saying management's job is to make sure they don't become a benefits company. The management's job is to make sure they remain a car company and they make good cars. Jonathan?
The management and the unions and the auto workers all grew very complacent. And what happened over the last few months has made everyone realize that, you know, GM is supposed to be making cars. The automakers are supposed to be making cars, not setting up nice fat deals for the workers. And so, you know, yes, 22,000 people are going to lose their jobs, but hopefully GM will emerge from this as truly as a leaner, meaner company that is actually making cars.
I got a game I'm going to play with you to that exact end in just 1 second. And we're going to play a little car game in just a second here to exactly your point, Roben. Before we do that, though, to what you were just saying, Jonathan, when you have management cutting deals like they did in the 60s, where they say, I'm going to give the labor force a 2 to 2.5% raise on their salary in exchange for massive promised future benefits in the pensions, which is basically how the government's been treating America, right? Just take it easy now, we'll take care of everything later. We're trading every crisis of the day gets traded out for a future funding crisis, a pension crisis 20 years from now, a tax crisis 40 years from now, an energy crisis 25 years from now. And as soon as management, whether it's political management or, for that matter, corporate management, starts, again, cutting sweetheart deals to get themselves paid today or reelected today at the expense of the future, you are doomed, in my opinion.
Yeah, but here's the problem. The problem with your argument is it makes sense. And obviously, these guys are allergic to making sense. That's just the reality. The point that I'm trying to make to you is that everybody is looking at the positions that they're going want to take? How advantageous is it for me? You've got the union just as much as management, You have the union sitting around saying, how can we take great advantage? How can we milk this thing? Nobody was thinking in the best interest of the company. Nobody was thinking, they were thinking in the best interest of themselves. They are just as guilty as management in all of this.
Play a game with me. Jonathan, can you, I'm going to read, you won't be able, I don't know if you can see this stuff or not, but I want to do word association starting with you, Robin, because again, your point is they don't make good cars. So we can talk all day, but until you get me a car I want to drive, this is all, you know what?
It's moot.
Well, maybe, and Stephen, we'll get into it.
I got it.
VW.
One word. The talking bug.
Bug. Stephen, VW?
I don't know.
Come on. Yes, you can do it. Imagine I'm your head shrinker. Porsche or Porsche. Come on, that's your car.
That's smooth.
That's right. Now we're doing it. There you go.
It's smooth right there.
I'm sorry. Jonathan, I'm a little lost. What's this word game?
I'm going to say car brands, and you're going to give me thoughts and emotions that occur to you. What do you mean, what's this word game?
Come on, Jonathan.
I say Apple, you can say chicken, okay? We can do whatever we want. I'm doing it with cars.
All right. So
BMW.
BMW, fast.
Fast?
You want more words?
Lovely.
Fast.
What do you got?
Bavaria.
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 Oh, Bavaria. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do Buick. Jonathan.
Grandma. Exactly.
That's exactly my word. That's exactly my word right there.
And plastic seats.
Chevy.
Great grandma.
Levy. Jonathan.
Chevy.
Yeah.
Granddaddy.
GMC. Jonathan.
Plumber.
Robin.
10 as in miles per gallon.
Okay, here.
Comfortable.
It is comfortable.
It is comfortable.
Right. We're out of here. We need American cars that people want to buy. Until we solve that problem, it's all a bunch of nonsense, and we need the political expediency that plagues our Congress, also plagues management and many corporations in this country. It's getting us into too much.
Dude, how
we got too many problems.
Wait, how awesome is it? Can I just say that I get to debate this with Stephen A. Smith?
It's totally awesome.
I look to this guy for Lakers advice, and I'm talking GM with Stephen A. Smith.
And I just depressed him because I said Boston should be the favorites instead of the Lakers, so he's depressed right now.
If my friends could see me now.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're back with that CIA leak. We actually have one of the members of the House Intelligence Committee joining us. She knows what the secret is that was kept. I'm going to try to get it out of her. I don't think I'm going to get it, but we're going to try after this.